Again, I want to let you guys know here, we've had a number of you sign up for Mortgage Shots Kills Elite, which is, if you want to, again, Mortgage Shots Elite. You'll be getting an email on that later on today, but it's basically a massive, massive accountability system that's going to open up 4 coaches to you. And we're not only going to be talking about, the Broadview stuff as we're doing here, but it's for those who want more attention to the detail, want accountability, and want to work within teams. It's a really cool way. Basically, we're in a lot of ways, we're gamifying the coaching process. There's a lot of studies on this. It's actually really cool. If you can turn things you have to do that you otherwise see as work into games, people will be more effective. There's, like I said, there's a lot of studies going on, especially in my state of California, in the Silicon Valley, about gamifying coding and with a lot of these tech companies. So we're going to be, in a lot of ways, gamifying, Matthew, what we're talking about right now. We're going to be gamifying what you guys need to be doing. So Mortgage Shots Elite is we're going to put you with teams with other loan officers where you're going to have your groups accountable to each other, accountable to yourself, accountable to the system, accountable to your coaching, and we're going to, like I said, turn coaching into a game. But when I say game, we're dead serious about the outcome on this thing. We believe that if you're accountable to more than just yourself, that you'll be more effective. And so if you want to look at Elite, we certainly would encourage you to do that. For those of you who've already joined, we're waiting till we get our our rosters filled, and we're going to go from there. If you have more questions on this, we can certainly talk to you individually. But everybody will be receiving a video on this later on today. So super cool stuff. All right. I could just have a conversation with you guys about this more so than anything. Okay, so the question really is FSBOs. What is the FSBO strategy within Mortgage Shots? Now, when Listing Booster first was started, it was started by my partner, Kevin Bilberry. And when he started, Listing Booster used to be called Homes by Lender. And Homes by Lender was essentially a giant automated FSBO strategy that eventually turned into Listing Booster, then Homes by Lender went by the wayside. But the DNA of Listing Booster is really built on the shoulders of loan officers working FSBOs. The reason for that was simple, is Kevin at the time didn't like working with real estate agents, didn't like the fact that his success or failures were incumbent upon referrals he would either get or not get from real estate agents, so he wanted to be more autonomous. And so he started a FSBO strategy. Now, in your Listing Booster account, as you guys know, you can go through and you can do an automated upload. I don't know if people are aware of this, but in areas where you don't have automation, you can very quickly and easily upload all your pictures, your descriptions, and everything that you need to have for your Listing Booster listings. Okay? All you have to have are the pictures, the dimensions, the descriptors of the property, and you're good to go. Now, obviously, the FSBOs aren't going to have a real estate agent. So let's just make a broad leap here and say, okay, you can get to where you have all of your marketing campaigns or pieces of material for your for sale by owners, just as you would have for your automated listings with your real estate agents. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and work that. What Kevin did, this was probably 6 years ago, so he always made sure that he had the sign up in front of the house. His signs, he would get the A-frame signs, and then what he would do is he would make sure that he had his text codes on there. Would you like to get more information on this property? You can go ahead and text and get the information. Now, how Kevin would sell this to the sellers is he would go and knock on their doors. He'd say, well, I see that you're selling your house. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not going after any commissions, but we can help each other out. I can create all this fantastic marketing on your property, and it will sell your house quicker and for top dollar, which is going to help you out. And what I'll do is anybody who calls on my signs, I'll pre-qualify all of these people to see if they qualify for your house. It's great for you because you get to sell your house. It's great for me because I get the loan on it, which I like to do it. And if you're doing a FSBO, I don't think anybody in their right mind would say no to this, because the reason people are doing FSBOs is they don't want to pay the 4 to 6% commission, and so obviously you're not going to be dealing with contracts. You're simply going to be dealing with the financing. Now that's an easy enough sell. And by the way, what Kevin would always talk about with this is that when somebody's selling a house, they're generally buying another house. If they're selling their house on their own, you can generally catch them early on in the process. And he would turn half, 2/3 of these people who are selling their house into loans going forward. So he would get the deal from the person selling the house. That's that whole sense of reciprocity. Hey, I'm helping you out sell your house. I'm also going to get your loan. and I'll get the loan on the person who is going to buy your house. So that's generally what the philosophy is. So the question then becomes, how do you find them? Well, there's a couple ways that you could do this. Just real quickly in your local area. All you have to do is go to for sale by owner sites. You can type in for sale by owner Sacramento, and it'll pull up your FSBO properties. Okay. There's also services that you can go purchase, and again, just look these up. It's for sale by owner, and it'll show up different sites where it'll give you every listing of every for sale by owner that they can find in your area. The cost of admission to get these FSBOs that you would then call on is fairly inexpensive, but the idea is you go through and you call on all these FSBOs, and then you can get all your signage up, and you could do all your marketing as these guys have been teaching you for the past couple of months as we've been going forward with this. So if you want to do a small pay, you can go through and dial for dollars. You can call on your FSBOs. As you see the FSBOs, you can simply go and knock on their doors. I think the most effective strategy, though, is this. Real estate agents, you'll get pushback from real estate agents if they see that you're marketing with FSBOs. Because after all, the real estate agent wants to get that commission, don't they? So, there's a great way to turn our chicken shit into chicken salad here. So what we've recommended to loan officers, and frankly this came to us from loan officers, and then we've turned around and kind of spit it out towards other LOs who want to get into the FSBO strategy, is they do what TJ and Fish have been telling you all along, is training your real estate agents up. Here's how it goes. So you sit down with your real estate agents who are working with you, and they're obviously in your Listing Booster account, and you sit them down, you talk with them. You say, I got a proposition for you. I want to have all the FSBOs in our town on my Listing Booster account. Here's the reason why. If there's a FSBO, the real estate agent, if you see a FSBO as a real estate agent, there is nothing in it for you. Maybe if you bring a buyer, they might kick down a commission, but chances are there's nothing in this thing for you. You see a FSBO, you drive by it, there's not a dime on the table for you or any other real estate agent in this community. However, if you can refer these FSBOs to me as you're driving around, as you're showing houses, if you can just pull over and jot down the address and the phone number on that FSBO sign and text it to me or email it to me, what I'm going to do as your loan officer is I'm going to footnote you as the real estate agent who referred this FSBO to me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out and contact that seller. And I'm going to explain to him what I just explained to you. If you let me help you market your property, you'll sell it quicker for top dollar, and this allows me the opportunity to pre-qualify everybody who's going to be looking at your house so you know if you're dealing with a real buyer or not. So it benefits you because you get pre-qualified people and it helps you with your marketing. It benefits me because I get the loan. I'm not coming after commissions. By the way, you're going to need a loan going forward. Can I help you with that? That type of thing. So when the FSBOs say yes and we get the signage up there, what happens is of all the people who look at a property, when was the last time the first person who looked at a house bought it? So the idea is you tell the real estate agents, hey, listen, as I pre-qualify people from this FSBO, I will take any pre-qualified buyers or anyone looking to buy a house or needs a listing or anything off of this, and I'll refer them to you. In short, if you give me the information you see on FSBOs as you're driving around our community, any leads that come off that FSBO will be leads directed towards you. So what this is it becomes a way to make FSBOs pay for real estate agents for simply referring them over. So we incentivize, we monetize the FSBOs for the real estate agents who refer them. The second point of this is very simple. Half the time when you have FSBOs, depending on the market, they don't sell. And half the time, FSBOs turn into listings for real estate agents. In the event that that happens on this property, because I'm going to have a rapport with the for sale by owner of that property, I will make a recommendation to use you. So we went from a property that is not paying any money to you or any other real estate agent, and with a simple referral to me, you will get all the leads off of that who don't buy that house. And in the event that I can go ahead and turn that person into a listing opportunity for you, I will absolutely do that. And if you think about how many listings your average real estate agent gets, they're few and far in between. Okay? And as we said before, every real estate agent wants to be a listing agent. I don't give a shit what they say. They want to be listing agents. So if you think of your community, I always put everything in the context of where I live in Vacaville. We have a community of 100,000 people here. There's 100 to 200, 300, FSBOs out there. if you are empowering your real estate agents with knowledge that they can get business off these FSBOs as they're driving around neighborhoods and showing properties, that type of thing, and all they have to do is refer them to you, it could create another vertical revenue stream for you guys. And of course, once you get them, you go into your Listing Booster account. Well, you have to go out there, you take your pictures, you figure the bedrooms, the bathrooms, you find out any descriptions or any pictures or anything that the seller's already got in place for their marketing, and it's just a simple upload. It's just a simple upload. You take the pictures, you upload them, you go through, you fill your descriptions out, and you're good to go. And if you guys would like to see how to do that, like I said, it's very, very simple. It's just like setting up your profile. But that in a nutshell is a way to get more FSBOs in. And by the way, it's super effective. It's the same thing as your automation, except you're taking the real estate agent and the automation out of the equation. And you know, if you do get to take leads, you know, from these listings, and you're just handing them over, you know, you're handing them over to your real estate agents. You get somebody who's pre-qualified, you hand that over to a real estate agent. How powerful is that? You know, if you can give a listing opportunity presentation to one of your real estate agents, how powerful is that? You know, me and the boys have joked about this before. You can have the biggest, most badass real estate agent in your community who wouldn't give you the time of day, that type of thing. You know, but if you have a chance to sit down and tell them, hey, if I refer you over to this person for a listing presentation opportunity, you will get every real estate agent's undivided attention in your community. So FSBOs are a great opportunity for you guys to work with. It's very, very simple. If you have any further questions on that, we can certainly go ahead and answer them. Dave says, written script to practice these tactics would be very helpful. Awesome stuff, guys. Yeah, I mean, right now we're recording this, so exactly what I said is essentially exactly what I would do.
There's actually
watch this right now.
Isn't there, Brian?
Go ahead.
So I'm pretty sure you actually have in the training videos in Listing Booster. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's actually a piece on FSBOs, kind of already a written script in there. So I'll double check real quick while we're on the call.
Okay, sounds good. Which brings up another great opportunity. If you haven't done it, guys, go ahead and you know, kick the tires of the marketing piece inside a Listing Booster. There's presentations in there, there's PDFs in there, there's scripts in there. There's a whole bunch of information in there that can help you guys out with this type of stuff.
Yep, like Kevin has his entire presentation in here. It's a 9-page PDF, scripts, kind of his whole overview on what to do, how to do it, how he got into the business, how he built Listing Booster. So it looks like it gives you a telemarketing script if you're making phone calls.
Let's see.
A couple of leads for FSBO lead resources. So it's a pretty you know, it's pretty comprehensive PDF.
Yeah, we have two pieces. Here we go. Yeah, I got it right here. Appreciate you pointing that out, TJ.
So I'm here, man.
Let's see what we got.
One thing while we're waiting for that to load, you know, TJ and I have been talking a lot about sharing properties in Facebook groups. That's a great place to find the FSBO owners as well. Joining the local buy-sell groups and just keeping your eyes peeled for folks that specifically say they're listing FSBO, and just reaching out and offering help. I've used that strategy locally a handful of times. Works really well.
By the way, great information there. Super, super great information. And you're right. Those would be great places to find them as well. And I'm looking in here, and by the way, this does look pretty good. There's some good stuff here.
Go down to the where it says FSBO manual and call scripts on there, and that's Kevin actually has the full presentation for the LO as far as what to say, what to do.
Which one? Oh, right here. Oh, here we go. Very good. Very, very cool stuff. And you know, this is a really great strategy, guys. You know, we always talk about, you know, in Listing Booster, as is the case, there's 10 different ways to make Listing Booster work for you. You don't need to do them all. There's a big misconception here, guys, that you have to do a little bit of everything, which is not the case at all. What you need to do is figure out one thing and then do it really well. And then what you might want to do is, if you feel you've wrung the neck of that, is go ahead and, you know, work on something else. But the FSBO strategy, if you did this and only this and did it effectively, I mean, it could be all you need to do. And let's think about this, guys. I mean, Fish, TJ, what's the over/under number on units to be considered a successful, not an okay, but a successful loan officer? Like, what's the over/under on units on
I'm gonna
average?
say
would you say?
over 60. You're usually doing pretty solid if you're self-sourcing.
It
Would you agree
depends on
with
what
that,
area
TJ?
you're in as well. Like if you're in a $100,000 area, you're going to need to do closer to 100 plus.
Yeah.
If you're in a 400, 500,000 area, 7 to 10, 5 to 7, 7 to 10 per month is going to make you a darn good loan officer.
Yeah, you kind of. My thinking is you live in the same area of these properties, so it's all relative. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. I'm thinking like if you're doing somewhere north of 5, consistently, you're a successful loan officer. I mean, consistently going north of 5. And so, if you have a population density, like I said, Vacaville is 100, 120,000, but there's 5 cities around here. There's 400 or 500,000 people. I mean, how many FSBOs? There's a few hundred FSBOs out there. And if you're working, a portion of those, and you just made that your strategy, do you think it's reasonable to assume that you'd be able to pull 5 deals out of that per month? And my thinking is you absolutely could, if you were working it properly. I don't see why you wouldn't be. I mean, 8 hours a day, go out there and kick ass. You can make FSBOs and only FSBOs pay for you.
I personally think that FSBOs, and again, this is not from experience. This is just from conjecture and talking to Kevin and some other people. I really think that someone can make it their primary source of business and market to it very similar to the way we always talk about marketing here. But there's a heck of a lot less resistance to it because they're not getting phone calls every Monday from 40 loan officers trying to get their business, right? They might get 1 or 2, but for the most part, I guarantee if we took a poll of every loan officer that we know in our respective areas, and that's a lot at this point, right?
Yeah.
Very few of them are working FSBOs because they don't think there's any FSBOs. They're not worth it. The market's too busy. I thought that myself. While we were talking here, I just pulled up like 2 or 3 different FSBO sites from my little area, and I live in small town USA, okay? I mean, I'm a suburb of Baltimore, which is a huge area, but my actual town is small town USA. My office is on Main Street. I got the barber shop and the psychic and the bail bonds place right above me. Like that's where I live type of thing. I mean, I just found like 50 FSBOs within a 10-mile radius of my office, just from one quick search.
What if you called 50 FSBOs on Monday instead of 50 agents?
Right, absolutely. Or yeah, what if you set up a quick video talking about your FSBO program to go with your and source it around Listing Booster, and then sent out a mail piece. It would cost you $25, $50. $50 send it to 100.
Ryan, you remember Ryan? Yeah. Ryan Ginther? He was so successful doing that he ended up becoming a real estate agent. He was at LO working the FSBO strategy exactly like that, TJ. You remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And,
definitely using Listing Booster. Got to the point where he was doing so many deals that he decided, well, I think I can make a little more money if I'm repping it on the real estate side than the.
And so the 1% is making the 3%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at this right here. So I just pulled up Vacaville, and it's pulling up our surrounding areas here. Now, keep in mind I guarantee you, every one of these FSBOs here has been. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Okay, every one of these FSBOs here is being hit up by every real estate agent in town saying, "Give me 4 to 6% of the sales price of your house." That's happening. There's no doubt. And look at over here on Zillow. On Zillow, these agents can still get the leads off of this FSBO. So here's the property owner. I mean, we could call this property owner up and say, I noticed that you're on Zillow. Totally get it. I said, do you realize that you've got real estate agents over here who are marketing on your property on Zillow? The reason they're doing that is because they want to get to the buyers before you get to the buyers. Then they'll bring them to your house. If you want to sell your house, you're going to have to give them a commission in order to make that sale take place. If you work with me, I just want a loan, and maybe we can go ahead and put a sign right in front of your house, and you can go ahead and not have to bother about being sold commissions. I mean, it would keep another 2 to 3% in your pocket here. So I'd like to come by and talk to you about how we can market your property, and the only thing I'm looking for is the loan on this. And I think that you would get a great response. Again, here's our property owner. Here's his phone number. Here's his house. You could take it to his house. You could show this to him. These agents are marketing on your site. If somebody is looking at your house right now, this FSBO, and they click that they want to get information from this premier agent, on your house and they contact her, mark my word, Michelle Paniza is going to go to you and say, I have a buyer for your house, but I want to get 2 to 3% from you. In other words, I got a buyer for your house, but I want $10,000 to $15,000 from you.
Right.
So what you're essentially having is a $10,000 to $15,000 conversation with that owner. Now, I would think by virtue of the fact that they're going through a FSBO means they don't want to give $10,000 to $15,000 for a real estate agent to bring a buyer.
Right.
And you're offering something outside of that. So if I were a loan officer right now and I were smart, I would call all these FSBOs right here. Again, this is on Zillow. And I mean, how many do I have here? I got a lot. I got a ton of them here. This is Solano County. But if you noticed, I also had I had other sites here as well. And I'll bet you we could probably squeeze 30, 40 FSBOs out of here. Now seriously, guys, loan officers, people on this call right now. I mean, honestly, how busy is your day today? I mean, are you just swamped from beginning to end? Why not do it? I mean, why not just say, screw it, I'm going to take an hour of my time, I'm going to go to FSBOs, I'm going to go to Zillow, and I'm going to find out how many are there, and I'm going to call them. I'm going to call each and every one of them. I'm going to call this dude right here, the property owner. Here's his phone number. I'm going to say, hey, man, I know you got a house at 1055 Countrywood Lane, Vacaville, California for sale. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not looking for commissions. I just want to get this clear up front. I'm a loan officer, and I think I can help you out. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to come and help you market your property. It benefits you because you can sell your house faster. And frankly, you might not have to deal with a buyer's agent, as is the case on Zillow right now. If one of these agents who's marketing on your property on Zillow gets a buyer, they're going to come to you and ask for 2 to 3% of the sales price of your property. They're going to ask for upwards of $13,000 from you. Now, we can put some signage in front of your house, create single property websites, and do a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be absolutely free for you. All I ask is that when people call, I'm going to pre-qualify all of them. And then if they buy your house, you go through the process. You get pre-qualified people. I'm not asking for $1 from you, and I'm just helping you market your property. Can we have a conversation about this? Can I come by your house? And if they say, sure, why not? And by the way, just real quickly, if they say no, say, I'm just curious. Why not? I'm offering free marketing for you. It benefits you because you get the marketing. It benefits me because I get the loans. I don't want the commissions. Because I can tell you, Tom or Shawnee Rapasarda or Shireen Chandler or Joanne Doherty or Linda Simpson, who are marketing on your listing right now, if somebody from Zillow goes to them through your FSBO, they will come to you and they will ask for this money, and there's a chance you're not going to be able to sell that house to somebody who might want it. I'm just offering you a very logical workaround. I'll bet you, please do this today and contact me. Guys, write this down. Here's my phone number, 707-330-1272. 707-330-1272. Somebody, and like I say, ask why if they say no. Call your local FSBOs via Zillow and let me know what your conversion ratios are, because I think they're going to be huge. I really, really honestly do. And it's a simple strategy, and if I sat down here with my door closed, I could knock this thing out in as short as an hour, and hopefully it would take me 5 hours. Because if it takes me 5 hours, that means I'm having a lot of meaningful conversations. And then, by the way, when you go to their house and you show them this right here, what we're looking at, Zillow, we say, hey, by the way, here's how your house appears on Zillow. You can contact these people, and when you contact these people, they're going to be coming looking for a commission. This is a workaround. This is how Zillow makes money. They're monetizing your for sale by owner. That's what's taking place. I'm offering you a workaround from this, okay? And then what you do is you go into your Listing Booster account. And by the way, if you have a computer, if you have a laptop, which I'm assuming everybody does, you can actually sit in their house and upload the pictures right there. You can show them the marketing pieces right there. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. You can have the whole thing done right there. It takes place instantly. And how about this one? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scrape a little of the TJ Mojo off right here, okay? Imagine if you did this. So you set the appointment, you go there, you take the pictures on your phone, or they have them, you go through the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the description. The whole thing shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes. Then you hit go. Listing Booster will create all that shit for you instantly, okay? Then what you do is while you're sitting there in their house, you say, let's try this right now. Then you're going to go into TJ's strategy, and you're going to start posting into the community groups, and you're going to have them post over to their friends too. Okay, exactly as TJ has taught you. Okay, in one of our previous webinars, exactly. And as you're sitting there doing that with them, you're going to see the leads popping up right away, right in front of them on your initial sit down with them. Okay, you're going to say, check this out. We just got 15 people who inquired on your house. That's 15 more. I mean, that's great. And then what you do is say, okay, I'm going to come back with a sign. And then you say, oh, and by the way, while we're at it, have you been pre-qualified right now for the house that you're planning on purchase? Do you have a house in mind? Are you going to get a real estate agent, you know, when you're buying it going forward? Are you going to get a real estate agent? Because I've got a great agent who can work with you on this thing, and you're not going to have to pay for their services. Oh, by the way, are you working with a lender? Oh, you are? Well, can I see what they're offering you? Because frankly, I might be able to provide something better for you. Oh, you're not working with a lender? Well, how about if I run some numbers for you? Oh, you're buying a house, you're buying it cash? Well, have you thought about the tax deduction? Maybe you're going to want to have a small loan on here. Maybe you're going to want to have, you know, a home equity conversion or a HELOC on here, you know, something like that. There's so many fantastic upsells that could take place here. I mean, think of the opportunities. I mean, it's incredible. Again, 707-330-1272. And all you guys have to do is, like I said, go to Zillow, type in your city, and just, you know, pound the numbers today. Spend an hour doing it. I mean, take an hour that you planned on bitching about one of your transactions or a real estate agent, or screwing off with your friends, or having a 3-martini lunch. Instead of doing that today, close your door, call the FSBOs, and like I said, ask why if they say no. Figure your scripting out beforehand, and I would be dying to hear what your conversions are, because I'll bet you they kick ass. What do you guys think on that?
I think a couple of things. One, awesome. Two, here's a little trick for that strategy as far as the leads go. Have another listing that you have out there and post it and put $10 towards a boosted post or an ad to kind of stack the deck in your favor. So you have a bunch of leads coming in on your phone just in case that property doesn't hit.
Turn the dinging noise on. Make it ding.
Yeah. So you make your phone ding. That's what we do. It's good. We want to have our volume up. We want the phone to ding. So when all those leads are coming through, you pick up your phone, you go to the to the client or the homeowner and say, hey, by the way, we're doing that same thing for your house. All those people are potential home buyers right there. We're going to do the same thing for your house. You'll see their jaws drop. And that's you know, I had a real estate agent do that years ago, and it has been a foolproof strategy ever since. People eat it up, and they win every single listing presentation they go on by doing that. The other thing is, I want to throw a Michael Fisher audible here. I am so interested and excited about this strategy. I think Fish and I are going to go out and start testing this out ourselves with a couple of the things that we like to do, and we'll circle back around in 2 or 3 weeks after we got everything rolled out on this, and we tested it, and we'll open it up to kills, not kills elite, just kills. So folks are on kills, so this will be one strategy that we go ahead and take, and we share with everyone that's in there once we know that it works, even if we don't have it perfected yet, right? We'll do Fisher's imperfect action. We'll get it together, we'll throw these things out, we'll test it out, and then once we have a good grasp on it, we'll bring some more people in and let you guys jump in and test it out as well. So, Fish, you cool with that?
Well, yeah, you know my spin on that, TJ. I mean, you're meeting FSBOs hopefully in your ideal market, the area that you live in or work in, and if you're encouraging those FSBOs to do what we've been teaching you on the other webinars, right, they're going to be sharing that property on their own personal Facebook page, on their friends' page, and hopefully you're going to end up building an email list of all their neighbors. And what you're going to do as you build that list and you see people opt in is you're going to see if you have friends in common, and you're going to start friending all their neighbors, so that you're building an audience of people that own houses that hopefully make money and pay their bills, that are your ideal clients to market to. So now you've got them, you know, you're Facebook friends with them, you got an email database. That's what I do in my local area. There's a couple subs that I really go after hard, and I really like to say, oh yeah, I know Tom, I know Joe, I know Barb. Next thing I know 4 people in a 100-house subdivision, and I can make connections to anybody in that sub. Anytime there's a house listed, I've got a crack at it, at least talking to the borrower, especially if it's a FSBO, because I already know a handful of people in there. Now, right now, I'm building email lists. So heck, I've got an email list where I already know people that know people. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Well, and you're hitting it 2 ways, right? You're going after the early, the 30, 60, 90-day transaction, as far as by working with the FSBO and trying to pre-qualify anyone that's coming in, of course, doing their purchase. But as you said, you're building up that database and that list of people that's a warm list, essentially, that you're marketing to. You're using Brian's Yelp strategy to do that you're marketing to consistently once a week. That's getting to know, like, and trust you for the future.
Now, I haven't done it this year, but this strategy I've actually used to do 3 loans with 1 transaction. You know, I end up with the person that's selling, they're buying another house, and I end up with the buyer on that property, and between networking with the 2 of them, you know, they end up sending me something else. So it's because you're, like you said, you're spreading goodwill. You're going out, you're meeting them, you're shaking their hands, you're offering them service, and sometimes you're meeting borrowers or sellers that haven't talked to mortgage people face to face, or really, like we said, don't necessarily see the value of working with an agent, but you may be able to refer them, and even if you can't refer them, you end up getting a deal or 2 out of it. So
I think it's a big point that you just made there, Fish, and it may have been a throwaway comment for you, but I don't think it'd be overstated, is you got to make sure, or I think it's very important to meet with these people face to face. Don't just let this be a phone transaction or an email. You need to shake hands with them to get them to kind of participate and be an active part of marketing their property.
Yeah, especially if they live like within 5 miles of your house. I mean, it's gold. You know people they know, there's landmarks. I mean, it's perfect.
You know what I just did?
Did you get a FSBO?
No, I took my fat ass down to the gym last week for the first time in months. I did. I took my big fat ass down to the gym for the first time. You know what?
Is that because you saw me doing that a couple weeks ago? You're trying to call me. I'm like, I'm at the gym.
Nope. I'm gonna take me and a buddy rode bicycles from San Francisco down to San Luis Obispo along the coast. It's like 350 miles, and wherever we'd land, we would just kind of sit there and we'd camp on the beach. We'd have our sleeping bags, took everything with us. So now I'm gonna do San Luis Obispo down to Mexico. So I figured I'm too out of shape. So I figured, fuck it, I got to do this. I got to get back in shape, and it sucks. It's hard. So what I did is I actually got off the couch and I went down to the gym, and it sucked. I'm still sore. But you want to know something? That's the hardest time, isn't it? That's the hardest time. Like the first time back to the gym after a long time, that's the hardest. The hardest part is just going down there. It's just going down there. Once you're there, you know, you might as well do something because you're there. And the second time, it's easier. And the third time, it's easier. The fourth time, it's easier. And it gets to the point where if you don't go, then you think, shit, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of like this right now. We've got 52 people on this call right now. 52 people who could take their fat ass down to the gym, who could go ahead and call their FSBOs today. They have all got the time. They all have the inclination, but they haven't done it in a long time. Maybe they've never done it at all. So that first call is always the hardest. You know, the first person that you can call. You could go to your Vacaville, as I did. You could go to your Zillow right over here. You got the phone numbers. You have the list right in front of you. It's like the gym's right down the street. You got the list right in front of you. It's right now. If you're screwing around on your computer, you go to Google. You could put it in FSBO, put it in your city, and you've got your work cut out for you. And if you were to go through here, and you were to call this guy, then this guy, then this guy, then this guy, and work your way down and set appointments and go out there, every single call becomes that much easier, doesn't it? It's like going down to the gym. And if you call this guy, then you get this one, and then if you get another one, success begets success, doesn't it? So you get one, then you get two, then you get three. Now all of a sudden you've got a rhythm, you know? And then if you're not doing it, it becomes difficult for you not to do it. Or if you don't do it, you're wondering what were you missing out on for that day. And I'll tell you this, guys, because I think you should all do, I really think everybody on this call should do this today. I think if you were to do this and you had 3 or 4 or 5, let's say you got 3 or 4 or 5 FSBOs in your pipeline, meaning you've gone to your house, you've gone to their house, you've shown them exactly what we showed you here. We showed you how agents are marketing it. We showed you how agents are going to, you know, come calling via Trulia, Realtor.com, and Zillow, asking for commissions, exactly what you're trying to avoid. And you're marketing and you're getting the signs up and you're asking them, you know, hey, you know, are you looking at selling your property right now? Is there, you know, you're selling your property. Are you getting a house going forward? Are you going to need a loan? Can I give you a quote on this? and understanding that you can take these leads, that you can give them to your real estate agents, that there might be listing opportunities, that the person who's selling their house might actually want a real estate agent on their purchase going forward. If you think of all the different opportunities from any one of these FSBOs and everything the boys are talking about right now, sitting down there, building lists, marketing to these people, doing a TJ strategy on each and every one of these things. It's going to the gym. It's the hardest the first time. And I'm saying this because I know I got 52 people on the line right now, and I think 51 of you are not going to do this. 51 of you are not going to the gym.
One just dropped off and started making calls. We're back down to 51.
Good. And so what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for like a buy-in from you guys. I'd love to see everybody do this today. Then I'd love to see, actually at this point, if you do it, post your results in our Mortgage Shots Kills Facebook page. Let's see what's going on with this today, because I'll bet you anything. I just know this. I can see it. Everything is here put together for you to succeed. There's no reason why this would fail. So, some of you guys, I want you to give this a shot today. I'm sitting down listening to you guys right now, and I'm thinking this whole thing through, and my wheels are turning. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely a slam dunk, just win situation. There's no reason why this won't work. And I love the fact that you guys are going to test it, but these 51 people we have online right now, you guys can all test it today. Everything's in place for you right now. And one last point before I know I interrupted you guys. One last point, Kevin Bilberry, who is an architect, a listing booster. I can tell you right now, if he went back into production today as a loan officer, the only thing that he would do would be the FSBO strategy. And he would go about it exactly as we're talking about right now.
But he sold his house. He sold his house in Florida with Listing Booster.
Yep.
But guess who helped him do that with the strategy?
Who?
Depending on where your screen is, for me, it's the guy up top, Mike Fisher. So he took Fisher's strategy, group strategy, ran with that, and I think he pulled a buyer in within like 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, he had like 300 leads.
Yep.
We posted it all over Delray Beach. I actually spent a couple bucks running an ad for him too. We put it in all the local groups. Plus, he made a really, really cool video, so he uploaded his own video. I asked him if he had time to come on the call today. He said he can maybe pop in next week or the week after and show us how he did it. But yeah, that video stood out, and he had a handful of people that said, hey, I saw your video, the house looked really cool. But the method of getting it out there, spreading it around, was the stuff we're teaching you guys, for sure.
By the way, Dave, he chimed in here. Dave, I can't pronounce your last name. I don't want to screw it up. Zelinki, I think it is. Mm-hmm. He says, Brian, the gym's easy. It's get around all the BS to get going and staying with prospecting that kills me. I get it. So he's basically saying the gym's the easy part. It's all this damn prospecting that's kicking my ass. And I get it, and that was a reason for my analogy there. The call's the easy part for me. Getting my fat ass down to the gym is the hard part. But the idea is that I think this is Dave and everyone else on the call, I think this is a relatively straightforward, easy thing to do. I don't, you're not dealing with, like, if you screw up with a real estate agent, they stand to go tell other real estate agents and make shit miserable for you, maybe in an office or something like that. I mean, I understand some of the call reluctance we have with the real estate agents. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But when it comes to these FSBOs, what's the worst this guy can do if we call him up right now? I mean, what the hell could he do? He said no.
Yeah, worst thing is hang up on you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. I think it's very incumbent upon the whole idea that you have to let them know on the call up front. Say, hey man, I just want to be just very clear and upfront about this. I'm not a real estate agent, and I'm not looking for commissions, and I don't want a dime from your pocket. I just want you to hear me out, how I can help you out, and why it helps me out. I think setting that up right away, I think is important so you don't lose them. But I think doing that and then explaining to them and setting an appointment to go to their house would be huge. But Dave, I totally get where you're coming from, and I love what Chris says on here. Again, another last name, CIOTTI. Is it Ciotti? Ciotti? I don't know if it's a silent C or not. But Chris says, I'm going to be the one who's going to do it. Chris,
love it.
Just do it. I mean, I'd love to see everybody do this. And like I said, post it in the Mortgage Shots Kills on our Facebook page. And let's see what type of results you are. Because for those of you who are on the fence or might do it or might not do it, I hope your business looks really great right now. Because I think there's gold. I think this is a gold mine. I really do. But maybe if some of you guys post on there, that it will work as motivation for other people to give it a shot as well. Okay. So anyway, sorry for interrupting you. Keep it going, guys.
Well, we made a quick review the last couple weeks. So if you want to spend like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to go over the high level, perhaps most important things that we've been teaching and reviewing and talking about on these webinars. And I'm sure we're going to miss something, but we just want to make sure everybody is ingraining the best practices and best habits and not wasting so much time getting caught in little tiny frilly details, but spending more time on that meat and potatoes kind of thing. So I'll try to make this pretty quick. We're hanging out Mortgage Shots Kills, so if folks are wanting to follow us there, I think we've shown pretty much how to get there. We'll perhaps go show at the end. So first things first, you want to understand how to pull your single property websites out of Listing Booster. If you don't know how to do that, we've got a bunch of webinars showing you exactly how to do it. But that's one of the first things you want to understand is how to get that single property website. As you're progressing, hang out in Mortgage Shots Kills, working more with Listing Booster, you want to understand, okay, so now I've got this single property website. It's just a tool. What am I going to do with that? Number one, I'm going to position myself as an authority. Number two, I'm going to continue to make videos. I'm going to continue to offer my services as a partner. I'm going to be an authority, a specialist, an expert. I'm going to make systems, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. So I got my Listing Booster link. I'm going to practice my ad copy. I'm going to teach this to agents. I'm going to teach classes in their office. Maybe I'll come up with a little logo or a brand name for it. When I walk in the door, I want to remind them who I am, show them how to use pre-app. I want to go over the main features of Listing Booster. Again, I want to hop back to that single property website, show them how to turn it on, show them how to get the leads, and then I want to explain what the benefits are. The database, of course, this is the strategy we talked about a couple weeks ago, adding your own pre-app Snipply link down at the bottom. It's a Greg Peckman implementation here from our friend Ed. Posting in groups, you want to start showing them how to post their single property websites in groups to get more leads. You want to show them how to post on Craigslist. You want to show them how to work the leads, build a database, do an open house email blast, make more friends, start what we call social stalking. You can start running ads as well. So some of the advanced guys use those to make ads. Social stalking, again, just making friends, making connections. Teaching the agents how to like, comment, and message folks as they go through. Giving the agents some scripts. Moving the leads into CRM. Programming shortcuts in your phone. This is one that kind of popped up in one of our mortgage groups. I teach this when I teach classes. I don't think I've talked a ton about it on our Listing Booster Hangouts, but you can teach the agents how to actually do the follow-up right on their phone. Just basically say, hey, pull out your iPhone, go to General, Keyboard, Text Replacements. You show them straight up how to program their follow-ups. Like here's one for a pre-app link, which you could, like mine's going to say 123 pre-app, and then here's one below just for a follow-up. Like this one says 123 home. So these are things you can do as you're teaching class to position yourself as an authority. Teaching them how to make those links, blast open houses, work seller, show the seller value. We showed this, I think, maybe in week 2. We're talking about how you want to explain to the seller how you're going to build a big database up front. And then you're going to show the agent how you follow up with the folks that come in and how they should follow up. You want to show the agent perhaps some additional cool tools that you have, maybe pre-app, maybe the agent pre-app. Show them how to make infographics, show them how to use the text codes. Combine all this with Facebook, social media, and bam, simple. So that was like a really quick 5-minute overview of the hottest topics that we've been teaching you guys. What do you have on that, TJ? What do you got to add to that?
So here's what I would say, kind of doing the back to basics thing.
Yep.
One of the biggest mistakes that I have made and I've seen people make when they're going in to talk about Listing Booster is not completely understanding Listing Booster inside and out. Not understanding what it's for, how it works, what it can do. Because especially if you're using the Listing Booster, the pre-made presentations, you're going to come across something, someone's going to be like, hey, what does that do? Or what does this mean, etc. So the key thing is make sure you understand how Listing Booster works and why it works. Now, once you have that, then all the other stuff that we talk about, that's all the fun stuff. But you got to get the agent, or as we've been talking about today, the FSBO, on board for the key component of LB, of what it works, how it works, and why it works so well. And then you start showing them the extra stuff. That's when you start teaching them about Sniply and how to run the pre-app. And then, I would posting in groups as part of the basics, and us doing the Craigslist posting as part of the basics. But then you're showing people how to do the stuff you talk about, running ads, adding to your CRM. That's all the stuff that you continue to use to go ahead and continue to build the relationship and to continue to provide value and lock yourself in as the go-to loan officer for the area, the new style loan officer that knows about marketing. Because I'll tell you guys a little secret. Half these agents, maybe more, you can teach them all this stuff and they're not going to do anything with it. But who cares, right? Because they're still going to recognize that you're bringing a higher level of value than anybody else that walks through the door, anybody else that picks up the phone and calls them. So use Listing Booster, understand it, understand how the difference between the branded virtual tour and the non-branded virtual tour, and how to post in Craigslist, and the difference between the two different templates, either the modern view or the classic view, how to set up the landing pages within Listing Booster, know all that stuff, know the basics, and then you can go to the cool stuff. So,
one last thought on that, TJ, and I know we've been talking about this a lot, is that remember, you're bringing money to their pocket, you're bringing a ton of value, and you're helping them cash big checks. So right. Sell yourself short. Don't go in there and act like you're begging for the business, or position yourself as inferior. Position yourself as an equal and ask for the business. Always ask for the business. Let them know straight up. I know you have some good relationships, not necessarily asking to replace those, but the things I'm teaching you, the tips we're working on, the strategies, if you're using them and they're effective and you're bringing more deals in the door, I'm just asking to share those transactions in that piece of the pie with you. And
hey, real quick, when asking for the business, this goes to the call we had with Brian last week where we were talking about asking for the business. So I posted one example of me doing it, because I tell you, I was never a guy who asked for the business, right? I was always the guy who said, hey, let me show you what I can do. Let me bring something to you. We'll work that together, that type of thing. So it was a little bit of a longer process to start getting business out of an agent. So I met with a team of agents last week. I've been trying to get their business since February. Finally got to sit down with them, show them Listing Booster, all the cool stuff we did, lead gen, etc. Well, I said to them, I said, hey, do you have anybody that I can pre-qual to show you how I do business, how I work loans? Because I'm always telling people how good of a loan officer I am, how I get my files in and done quickly, and there's not a whole lot of issues. Never want to get that phone call a day before closing saying we can't close or we need an extension with me. So I've never done that before, but they said, yeah. So I got two referrals, and we got one contract in out of those 2 referrals, and that was from an hour meeting, where I did my normal let's build towards having a relationship, but asking for the business at the end. Well, before this call today, I had a meeting with another agent. I sat down with him, and I asked him for the business. I said, hey man, I'd like to show you how I do business. You have anyone that needs to be pre-qualified? He's like, no, I don't right now. I was like, well, do you know anyone else who would be interested in what we do, kind of what our services are and how we do things and Listing Booster, etc.? He's like, you know something? I think I do. Hold on one sec. So he went out and came back in, and now I've got a meeting in 2 weeks with his entire team. I met with his team leader. I've got a meeting with his entire team now, so it's going to be like 7 or 8 agents in the room with me to learn about Listing Booster. And it came from me just saying, hey, what other business can you offer me? Or do you have any business? And when he said no, asking for someone else that I can work with. And it's something as simple as that. We're giving value to people, right, Fish? We have the right to ask for the business, the right to ask for a referral for someone else that wants the business at that point.
Absolutely.
So by the way, Brian, I think you talking about that and teaching me that, I think that's going to change my business. Just something that simple, just changing one line in my conversations when I meet with these agents. One line, in doing what Fish said and realizing I am bringing so much value that no one else is doing. I know stuff that no other loan officer can teach them. I have the right to say, hey, I want to teach you how to be this badass on Facebook, on social media, on internet marketing, and work your database. I have the right to say, what can you give to me in return?
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that sales is the whole idea of being a salesperson is being in service of others. I get that component of it. We're here to help you through a process. It could be buying a car, buying a house, getting a loan, whatever the case may be. But part of sales, the big part of sales is persuasion, where we have to persuade people to make decisions that we think are inherently in their best interest. You know, getting a loan and providing them with a great product is in somebody's best interest. You know, buying a house is the single greatest way that an individual could accumulate wealth. Okay, and in order for a salesperson who persuades to be effective, we have to increase the pool of people that we can influence. The only way to do that is through what is, you know, uncomfortable for people to do, and that's ask for things. You know, so we need to get something in return. We're so used to being I'm the guy picking up the check type of thing at the end of the meal, that it's hard for us to ask for things in return. It's just the nature of who salespeople are. Salespeople who are good are people pleasers. People pleasers don't want to ask for something in return. But understand, when we're asking for something in return, that not only benefits the person that you're asking it from, but it's going to benefit their sphere of influence if you believe what you're doing is providing a great product and a process at a great price for those people. So if you believe this, of course you want to help as many people as humanly possible. You know who the greatest salespeople on the face of the planet are? Are these the evangelicals. You know, the people who have this absolute resolve about their faith, who want to share it with everybody else. Well, no, this is, and I'm not getting preachy on you guys.
I thought you were going to say the door-to-door vacuum salesman.
Well, they've got the most tenacity. You know, the door-to-door, you know, or the people who aerate your yard or spray paint your address, you know, on your curb, those type of people. You know, the Comcast people who actually have the nerve to come to your door and say, hey, would you like a shitty product with bad service that costs you a lot of money? I mean, the tenacity of those people is something quite remarkable. You need to be tenacious, but if you believe what you're doing is providing a great service at a great price with a great product that's going to help people, you know, accumulate individual wealth, if you truly believe those things, you need to almost be evangelical about it and help as many people as possible. If you have the cure to cancer, you're not going to be like, well, I didn't know if you wanted the cure to cancer. You know, I felt kind of rude asking if you would share it with some of your friends. I understand it's not cancer, guys, but you get the idea of that. If you have a great product, a great price, and a great process, that we owe it to ourselves and to give it to offer it and make it possible for as many people as humanly possible. And you know, I want to add on to what TJ said real quickly here, and this is just kind of going off on the theoretical. But everybody talks about buying, you know, getting their business from let me reboot. Every piece of business and every piece of marketing that everybody does is built on the idea of finding the person who's already made their home buying intentions known. That's every piece of marketing, listing booster, pre-app 1003, coop out, anything. We are trying to find the people who have already established that they want to buy a house. Okay? So when somebody's established that they want to buy a house, they go online, they go to Zillow, they talk to their neighbor, they go speak to the real estate agent, maybe they know you, they look at the newspaper, they go to open houses, whatever. Everything, those are all signs that I am making the intent known that I'm going to buy a house. And then everybody scrambles for their marketing. And when everybody scrambles for their marketing, what happens? Because everybody's marketing is built around the idea of getting the person who's made their home buying intentions known, your message gets diluted amongst the hundreds, if not thousands, of other pieces of marketing materials other loan officers and other real estate agents are doing. I mean, that's just how it happens. And we hope and we pray that we are the one who they choose. For some reason, maybe our marketing stands out. And the people who market more, who saturate the market, who are better at conversations, who are more tenacious, are going to get a bigger piece of the pie. Nevertheless, it's a piece of that pre-existing pie. That's all you're getting. You know?
Are you telling me President Trump didn't encourage me to refinance, that those ads are all false?
Yeah, right, but hear me out real quick. When you actually go out there and you're asking for business from other people, when you're asking for business from real estate agents, when you're saying, let's go find somebody who should buy a house, when you're knocking on that proverbial door, when you get to that person in your marketing before they've made their home buying intentions known, you're no longer drowned out amongst all the other marketing pieces that are out there. So yes, an effective salesperson, an effective loan officer is somebody who's going to go out there and aggressively and assertively, with their great products at their great prices, go out and try to find as many people as humanly possible And you're going to be most effective when you're finding these people and persuading them to buy a house before they make their home buying intentions known rather than afterwards. It's just that simple. You don't have to compete against, or you don't have to be drowned out by all the noise of everybody else's marketing. So yes, when you're with your real estate agents and you're asking for business and you're asking for something in return, your average loan officer just doesn't have the gumption to do that. When you're asking your clients to go find their friends who should buy a house, your other loan officers out there don't have the gumption to do that type of stuff. I mean, these are the behaviors and mannerisms of the most successful salespeople out there. And again, the more you do it, the easier it gets, and you'll understand that you don't have to, run over a pit of hot coals in order to get to where you need to go. It's not going to burn you or hurt you in the process.
Couldn't agree more, man. I love it. So I think, unless we have any questions, you gotta kind of wrap it up on that, man. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's check it out. We got a couple here. Okay, so we have. By the way, a couple of you people I sent friend requests out to because so we could stay in touch while those guys were talking a little bit here. So just make sure you. And if I didn't get you, it's because I couldn't find you or we're already friends. But reach out to me. Okay, so we have here. Okay, Mike Nelson says, yeah, you're right. I got to get off this chair. I do get out of a chair, Mike. I have a bar in my office. I'm sitting on a bar chair, walk around a ton, ride my bike to work. It's all good stuff. Okay, so Smarty Pants says he's going to do it. He's serious. He's going to call him every day. Smarty Pants, knock it dead, dude. Just knock it dead. The Yelp strategy is a strategy we've done before. These guys have it. I have it. We've done it a few times. I'm sure it's in one of the webinars, and we will certainly be doing it again. My company has an awesome digital application. How will pre-app help me? Well, Bernie, without getting into pre-app a whole bunch on this one, we have something called pre-app Lite. And what it will do is integrate with any of your digital mobile applications that you have right now that'll help get it in front of more people. What you want to do is contact the pre-app 1003 and tell them you're interested in pre-app Lite because you have a digital application with your company right now and you want to see how it merges. I'd be curious to know who your company is. Smarty Pants, also can I zap my leads from Listing Booster? There's no Listing Booster beta available. LionDesk Tech is calling me in 10 minutes to help. Never mind, you figured it out.
We got her back. I was messaging her on it last night. I'll help her out. I'll jump in.
Okay. And Dave says, amen, Brian. All right, so listen, if anyone has any more questions here, this was not really the intent or direction of this call today. I love the direction it went. I mean, I'm getting off this call honestly, just super excited about looking at the FSBO strategy in depth again, kind of brushing off this old strategy and putting all these new conventions that TJ and Fish have worked with on top of it because it's so much better than when this thing was initially put together, and I can't wait to see these guys put together a strategy on this. Again, we'll put it into Coach Accountable for Mortgage Shots Kills Elite, and basically we'll hook probes up to you to make sure that you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's one of the things that...
I got an exciting announcement, Brian. I don't know if we want to end the call with it or what have you, but sure. I'm pretty sure next week, so you guys want to tune in, you want to share with a friend, bring as many people as you can. We've got two of the best Listing Booster users in the country hopping on the call with us. We'll have Chad and Greg, I believe, on the Listing Booster webinar next week. So I think they both committed. Hopefully they both are able to make it. But a lot of the stuff that they're doing, we've been teaching as well. There's some implementations that they are going to add, things that perhaps we haven't talked about, but just really awesome to watch these guys. Anything they say, and I think you did a hangout with both of them at some point, so really excited to see them next week.
I did. I've done one before, but again, there's all the different strategies and how people are tweaking and working with these systems is just really super cool to see. Those guys are at the top of the game. I think you guys probably saw, but Greg Peckman, he has produced more leads working with more real estate agents and has more listings than anybody the system has ever had. He's done it in 10 months. He's one you're going to want to definitely listen to. Chad Prio is he's just a monster stud. He's in the top 10 of everything. He's been doing it longer and was really one of the sparks that got a lot of this stuff going. These are two of the best. I mean, they're all-star Listing Booster users. There's just make no bones about it. They're two of the best. You could argue about the top 10. But they are two of the top 10 for sure. So you're going to want to make sure that you stick with us on that one next week. We will announce it on the show. I'm excited to hear what those guys are doing. And in the meantime, make sure that you guys get your FSBO numbers posted into Mortgage Shots Kills on Facebook. I want to see what happens. I'm dying to see. I'm going to be checking this stuff all day. So with that said, this was one of the best calls I think we've had. I'm super stoked about this, guys. Thank you so much, man. I love this call.
Yeah, me too. I love these kind of impromptu ones where we kind of go off in a different direction. It usually seems to bring out the creativity with everyone.
Yeah,
So
absolutely
awesome
agree.
stuff, Ryan. Thanks, man.
All righty, guys. We'll see you.